hello. This is Els coming in from Bemis Crafty Corner. And as promised, we're going to take a look at the We Are Memory Keepers envelope notcher. Okay. So it is a magnetic notch punch, and it is supposed to cut the notch on an envelope like this so that you can put it together without any adhesive. Okay. It's supposed to work in combination with your envelope punch board. So, this is the item itself, and it is a magnetic piece, and the magnets are pretty strong on it. And these are the simple instructions they give you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps to make it complete. So you're going to follow the instructions. Now, I will let you know that I've tried this a few times already with varying degrees of success. So let's try this one more time, and let's see what we can do. So what I have here is my envelope punch board, my scoring tool, and a 8 1/8 piece of 8 1/4 piece by 8 1/4 piece, which according to my envelope punch board will give me a 4 by 6 inch envelope, and I should score this at 3 3/8. So we're going to go ahead and put it into the punch board, lining up the edge at 3 3/8. We're going to punch and score just like we would to make any envelope. And then we're going to follow the score line around. So we're going to put the little point here on the score line we just put in. We're actually going to have it cover right over that line, which, if you're keeping track, takes us to 4 7/8. So this one should be back at 3 3/8. And then the next one will be at 4 7/8. And we'll punch and score that one. All right, so we're done with the punch board. We're going to go ahead and, well, we're not entirely done. If you want to round the corners on your envelope pieces, you can put them in the back here and round them. I'm just not going to do that for this. So we now have an envelope blank, and we have our notcher. So let's get our instructions and follow them. Instruction number 1 says, center the base of the envelope or card using the measurement guides. So on, we'll take this off so it's out of the way. On either side here, there's some numbers and some lines. You can see those. So I will assume they are from the center out. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our envelope, and we're going to put this on, centering it top and bottom, left and right. Now our envelope is slightly larger than our base, so we're going to try and eyeball this. I think that's pretty good. And then it says fold the top flap over. Now it doesn't say where to fold it over or how to fold it over, so I will assume that we're going to simply fold it on its line and lay it across here, making sure that we don't lift the paper. And then we're going to take this. The next step says place the punch with the word top right side up and punch. So on the top of the punch here, it says top, and then it says bottom. So when you turn it the right way, it's always right side up for you. So we're going to go ahead and fold this over. We're going to put top facing in the right direction, and we're going to put on the piece of, in which it will snap into place because of the magnets. We're going to go ahead and punch that, and then we're going to take it off, and it gives us this C-shaped punch. Now, this is an issue. It doesn't actually cut the notch all the way out, so you do have to kind of come back in with a pair of scissors and clean this notch up. That's strike 1, because if I'm using really pretty paper that's pretty on the inside to make my envelope, I would be very upset if this tore up my paper. So now the next part, it says to fold the bottom up and do the reverse. Take the notcher piece, make sure that the word bottom is right side up, fold your paper across, and snap this into place. Punch. Okay. Take it off. Open this up. And again, we have an incomplete notch. I don't know if you guys can see that. But you see, it doesn't really punch it. It just kind of pushes it out of the way. So we'll go ahead and trim that. Just get it off. Now, in theory, we should be able to fold up our envelope. Folding in both sides. And we should be able to fold our top and bottom pieces in. And that these two pieces should meet up. And you should be able to link one inside to the other. Like so. Now, what I have found is that these don't actually line up perfectly when I do this. What should look like a circle is slightly off. One is higher than the other. So if you're going to use this, I would recommend that you actually mark your envelope center, where the center of it is somehow, so that you know you're dead on center. I've tried it a few times, and I will show you those. So this was the first attempt at doing this, and when I did it, I could not get these to appropriately line up in space, you know, as far as the space goes. So that was a bust. The second one was pretty much the same. Couldn't get it to line up where it needed to be to close. And it was set sort of off center. And the third one you can actually see is slightly off center, but it does fit together. It's just not centered. And there really is no way to center. There's no mark to center. Like, there's no mark on here that says where you're supposed to put your flap to. So when you're putting this on here and you've lined it up and you bring this over, there's nothing that says, you know, bring it this far over or that far over. Just kind of, you're on your own. So we've completed all the steps. It says to interlock it together. And then in here it says it works with most envelope sizes. I'll be honest, I've tried multiple size envelopes, and it doesn't line up with any of them. All right, so is the product worth the money? I would say, for my money, probably not. It's not worth the $12 that it retails at, or the $8 that it sells for at Tuesday morning. It just doesn't line up. Now, if you've got the patience of a saint and you want to sit here and try and line this thing up, and you're willing to go through 4 or 5 or 6 or 20 pieces of paper to get one punched one, then this might be the product for you. For me, no brainer on this one, guys. It's not worth it. It just doesn't, it doesn't have the enough measurement. There's nothing here that says put your envelope point, you know, here. You know, there's nothing that says this is where the envelope needs to be. It's just kind of a guess game on anything that's wider than 6 inches across and anything that's wider than this piece, as far as where you're going to place this piece of paper. Because if I just fold it over and put it in here, if I'm not exactly from here to here, you know, from the fold, the inside edge, the outside edge of the cutter here, on both sides, exactly the exact same millimeters, this is never going to meet up, ever. And, okay, so how can we make this little booger actually work? So if you cut your piece of paper that you're going to be using to put your envelope marks on, you can either put the marks on for the envelope before or after you do this, but whatever your top and bottom piece is, if you just bring the points together and hold them together and put them on here at the same angle, and then put this little piece on and punch one time. when you fold your envelope, you'll have one top, one bottom, and they will fit together. Okay? And then you can fold your sides in accordingly. But I think that's probably the best way if you're going to get this item. That's probably the best way to do it. Forget the whole rotating it around, you know, turning this thing. I would simply just put my points in and punch one hole, either top or bottom. Doesn't matter which direction you punch them, because either way, you're going to have one facing in one direction and one facing in the other direction. When you open it back up, you'll have one up, one down, and that will just allow you, if you want to get this item to do this and you want to use this notch, this would allow it to happen. It's just a better way of doing it, I think, than the instructions that are given. That's only my opinion, guys. Remember, I've never paid for any endorsements or any opinions. This is just simply me finding the products and testing them for you, just giving you kind of a look at it. If somebody else has a better way of doing it, as always, please let me know. Until the next time, guys, if you haven't done so already, hit the red subscribe button for me, like me, ring my bell, and share me with all your friends, because I'm testing products for you. Bye-bye.